Fuel your body with complete multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just one tablet a day is all you need. Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful nutrition. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition store.
All right, good afternoon, family. Grand Rising. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Welcome to another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby. To those on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, on the network, and to those who shall be catching this on a replay, hope you guys get to enjoy. As usual, remember to download our app on the Google Play Store, where you can get yourself this amazing supplement on the local like of ashwagandha, multivitamin, brain and focus. We also have an active merchandise page as well. You can get yourself some hoodies, beanies, t-shirts, anything of your choice. And remember to also email us in case you have any questions before or after the purchase at kcnewsam15@gmail.com. Karibuni to another beautiful conversation of religion, literally still, but majorly we shall be focusing on how Africa is the proof that heaven exists on earth. And I'm going to talk about this, we're talking about the resources, the beauty of Africa, the people as well, literally everything we've been lied about and talk about religiously. It's all here, it's all here. This is why white people don't want to leave Africa. White people knew this, understood this, took away our science, overturned it, and completely made it a whole different story, which today I woke up to. Lately, I have a tendency of leaving comments on conversation that, I feel like, if I can't speak it out loud, why not leave a comment? And I've been having literally positive engagements when it comes to people, depends on what the post or the conversation is about. There are those who understand what is happening, but there's people who are so deep. I've been trolled. Like, as I talk right now, I'm literally like having a back and forth with people, because the mentality of our people is super, super messed up. I'll be reading some of the comments, like people have called me the devil. People have called me so many names. Others are understanding, a few to count. But majority of the people actually are so indoctrinated mentally. But we have Dr. Lynn. We have Lynn Gugi, whose video I want to share. She's talking about literally uncovering the image of white Jesus, because the image of white Jesus, number one, we don't even know who we're worshiping. We pour our energy to the wrong entity, to the wrong we vibrate to the wrong people, literally, or to the wrong person, and yet we don't even know where this history comes from. So I'll be sharing a video coming from Lynn Gugi. She's explaining where Jesus was never white. The version was a tool to dominate and a weapon of colonization. And of course, as I go deeper, I'm going to be explaining also what is happening in Kenya, why I was trolled, because there's an event currently happening. I think it's been going on for a week. I don't know who this pastor is, where he comes from, but I'm going to do my research as we continue. The event is called Rema Fest 2025, and he's a big pastor, not specific where he comes from. He's a big pastor, and people have been sure to also, one of our people working for us, I saw them there, they were in this crusade, worshiping and all that. And I thought it was maybe a pastor who belongs to the country, and is this just normal crusades that happen? But this happens to be someone who's known by so many, of course, of our people. And he's been in Kenya for the last, I think this is the 4th day. Like I'm saying, it's been holding a crusade. And today I just happened to bump into the video now showcasing how people are so united and going to this, crusade and chanting Jesus, Jesus and Jesus and all that. And I just happened to leave a comment, and I was like, it's sad to see this, because most of you are not ready for the topic of religion. When you talk about religion, or every time someone talks about religion, you get mad. And this is why you'll see your leaders on and on still taking on leadership. They're going to keep on being on these seats because you've been, number one, super indoctrinated and brainwashed to not see the bigger problem where it starts from. Because why, again, what we're talking about yesterday, why are you begging? Why are you praying? Everything you want is right here. And it was such a deep conversation we were having yesterday to understand, especially the video Keith made me share of the AI, or the lady AI was talking and explaining how you need to tuning into yourself, vibrate higher. Keith explaining also deeper how you need to vibrate higher. And when you vibrate higher, what happens? How you need to place your thoughts, how you need to be very intentional with everything you're also pouring out there, or what you're asking and demanding the universe. So it's super crazy to see that. Oh my God, our people are super, super deep going. It's super, super sad. But karibuni sana. That's what we shall be starting with, literally, with today's conversation. I'll be sharing much more of those videos. But before we get into that, a quick fact about the Africans' growing population, which I tend to question actually. Majority of these people I'm seeing on this crusade, are they the youths who we expect to still fight for our country, or who are these people? The majority who have literally this much indoctrinated. Which group of people are we talking about? Is it the baby boomers? Is it the Gen X? Is it the Gen Z? Because if you talk about the Gen Z and the Gen Alpha, with the people again daring to question many things that our parents are not able to question. So it is sad. The attack I faced today, I'm not even like, triggered by nothing. I'm not, because I'm actually enjoying it personally. I'm enjoying it, the back and forth with people. But it's just mind blowing to see how people are so defensive about this religion that we don't know where it came from. Shout out to the 11-year-old girl who's understanding what is happening. But the fact about Africa is that it has the world's youngest continent, and with the 70% of the population being under the age of 30, we know that, and this is why they've been trying to stop, of course, the mass awakening, bringing these sort of distractions again, because religion is one of it. We have entertainment to count, and so much, like, it's really big. But let me read this quick fact very quickly, and then we get into the other deeper conversation. They're talking about Africa, which holds one of the most valuable economic assets in the world. Its youthful population, with nearly 70% of the Africans under the age of 30, the continent stands the youngest globally, sorry. And this demographic trend is not just a statistic, it's a potential engine for growth, innovation, and business expansion. A young population means a rising workforce, ready to power industries, create startups, and drive consumer demand, which actually I pause on that. When you talk about to power industries, create startups, and drive consumer demand. We have currently Rwanda. Let me read what is happening in Rwanda right now. Rwanda has partnered with China to bring the first. Let me read this. What is happening in Rwanda? Rwanda has partnered with China. With the China Road and Bridge Corporation to unveil Africa's public flight of self-flying electric taxi. And the 2-day landmark demonstration is ongoing. I'm going to share the videos after this, what I'm reading. The 2-day landmark demonstration is ongoing at the Aviation Africa 2025 Summit. The project features hangs, which is EH216S, an electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, which has already made waves globally as a pioneering technology in urban air mobility. And then I pause on that. I'll continue the article. The question is, when will we stop partnering and ask for ideas on how we can create these industries? Back to the article, where we can power our own industries, create our own startups, and drive consumer demand, our own, us as Africa. When are we going to stop partnering with these other countries who are just coming to collaborate, and yet you still use what they have innovated, which, if you talk about now coming back to invest in your country or buying these products or whatever, it's going to cost you a lot of funds more than if you created back here at home. So it's a lot of knowledge and education people need to get. But yeah, they're saying it also represents a rapidly expanding market for products and services from fintech, yeah, and fashion to education and digital platforms. In fact, Africans youth are not just workers; they're digital natives, highly adaptive to new technologies. I'm high on that because if you talk about actually now even the beauty of Africa being shown, why we'll have more people coming to explore Africa today is because of the digitalization currently. That is actually even the caption I've used. Digitalization has literally made Africans at least expose much of what the Europeans had hidden, apart from showing that we're living in Kiberas, in Madares, in Dandora, in such places like Komoko in Nigeria, that has at least been able to cover most of the negative images that the European or the white media has been pushing. They had also that highly adaptive to new technologies and are shaping the future of mobile banking, e-commerce, and the creative economy. But the youth can be both an asset and a challenge without proper investment in education, number one, which is a big problem because most of the people actually having a back and forth with me on the comments because of me addressing something is just lack of education. The reason why we lack, again, I was talking about critical thinking, and I talk about this every day. Critical thinking has been lost long gone with the same system of education we've been given. The fact that we're being fed not what is real, that makes you not it doesn't give you the ability to critically think with now what is real. I don't know if you understand me. Like you're so duper, super duper indoctrinated to the point you don't know how to go back to it. So when someone tries to bring up a new or a contradicting information about what you know, you feel like you're being attacked, like they don't know much like or it's just super crazy. Also adding that um yeah, education, we have infrastructure, which of course they fail to create, which I'm talking about. We can't keep on collaborating, partnering and all that. And job creation, theft has increased because of job creation, lack of job creations in Africa, specifically currently as we speak in Kenya. Insecurity is rising because of why youth stealing from other people is because you have a job, I don't, the fact that you have a job, whatever I'm going to steal from you, that is the type of mentality I think they reason with. The fact that you have a job, reparations, and I don't, I'm going to come steal what you have, if it's a phone or whatever, it's valuable. And if I can, of course, sell it and get some few funds, they can sustain me a day or two before I get someone else to snatch from. I know you can cover that because you have a job. I don't. I don't know if it really makes sense. So that's why literally there's increase of lack, literally insecurity in most of the African countries amongst the youth. It's not because they want to, it's because they are forced to become that product of the society. But also adding that the same demographic boom could fuel unemployment and instability. And this is why governments and investors alike are forcing on policies and ventures that can harness this energy into sustainable growth. If well managed, African youth could turn the continent into the world's largest hub of talent and innovation, a future that business and entrepreneurs can afford to overlook. But they won't do that because someone says on the comment, 2 out of 3 of them are living with HIV, and almost half can volunteer to do anything. I sort of agree. If you talk about, I don't want to say 2 out of 3, that is a big number. I know HIV has really increased, but 2 out of 3 amongst the youth? Hold on, let me see. That's a big number. Hold on. That's crazy. That's a big, big number. What's the ratio of HIV and AIDS amongst African youths? So they're saying that there isn't a single ratio of HIV and AIDS amongst all African youth. Okay. However, the data shows that Eastern and Southern African bears a significant burden, with girls and younger women aged 15 to 24 being disproportionately affected by new infections. And in some sub-Saharan countries, adolescent girls are 2 to 3 more likely to be, that is in the sub-Saharan, adolescent girls are 2 to 3 times more likely to be infected than boys. With economic, social, and cultural factors, economic, social, and cultural factors contributing to their higher vulnerability. Yeah, because if you talk about economy, I think is where most of the women have to survive sexually, So, like what we are watching, women, young girls being sold to these old men for sex, and some are being paid, some are not being paid, and some are doing it also willingly for a living. So economically, that could contribute to this high rate of HIV and AIDS. We also have social, I don't know about that. Cultural, if you talk about maybe cultures like the FGM, because those they use like one razor for maybe 10 people, operating on 10 people. So that becomes literally, it literally contributes into the transmission of diseases very quickly, like HIV. But that is super crazy. I can't really say the youths are really that much high affected, as much as I don't believe the data personally. I don't want to say no at the same time, but 2 to 3 is such a big number. And then someone else says on the comments, population that has no use should be reduced. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. That is such a shocking comment. Population that has no use should be reduced. That is Bill Gates' agenda. You're talking like Bill Gates. Oh my goodness. It's crazy if you're really buying into this, you guys. And someone says that's why Danijo wants population control since we are still growing. At least someone else gets it. This is super insane. It is super insane. But we need to understand that the fact that we are the world's youngest population that is in this continent, like 70% of us are under the age of 30. 70% of us. So what are you going to do about that information? It's up to us, literally. We need to understand how things work. We need to be educated properly. That is all I can say. We need to connect the dots very quickly, because if not, these are the type of things we're going to be dealing with. If you talk about the population and yet we have collaboration, innovations that are being done by other people and not us, then where are we going? Because exactly, we're not useful. I'm not saying get rid of the population that is not useful, but we're not really useful. We're going to keep on chanting on, the same old norms of we want a better change without demanding or going for it. Like I said, personally, understanding we are the democracy, because democracy doesn't really work well and smoothly when it comes to these leaders. So we are the democracy. Democracy is us. We should be listened. It is us. We should be listened. They should listen to us, because we are the democracy. But looking at what I was just talking about, that is what is happening in Uganda, partnering with China Road Bridge Corporation. And like I said earlier, this is to unveil Africa's first public flight of a self-flying electricity air taxi. And the two-day landmark demonstration is ongoing at the Aviation of Africa 2025 Summit. The project features Hihang's EH216S, an electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, which has already made waves globally as a pioneering technology in urban air mobility. The ongoing demonstration in Kigali is the first of its kind on the continent, of course, positioning Rwanda at the forefront of innovative transport solution. So placing Rwanda at the forefront of innovative transport solution. Rwanda has not innovated this. They just partnered. If I'm understanding all this correctly, it's not fully, like it's not even the innovation itself didn't even happen, even if they partnered financially or however way Rwanda is supposed to pay back for this partnership. This did not happen in Rwanda, if I'm really making sense. This one, you're talking about creating industries that the youth can come up with different innovations and make this easier for us to stop spending a lot or paying a lot of taxes when importing other things that we can actually easily do or create right here. They're saying that according to the Rwanda's Ministry of Infrastructure, the initiative underscores the country's ambition to become Africa's hub for advanced air mobility, and the pilot's EH216 will serve as a live case study for the regulators and stakeholders across Africa, offering insight into the potential of air taxis as part of the region's evolving transport infrastructure. The more builds on Rwanda's track record as an early adapter of drone delivery service, which this is just too much English that they are using, but there's nothing that actually Africa benefits from this. I don't care whether this is the first project that puts Rwanda on the forefront and Rwanda is the first to do it amongst the other African countries. When are we going to develop our own things? When are we going to stop partnering with people and let them come show us the ways to create this in our own countries? When are we going to stop doing that? Because how is this beneficial? Who wants to use? I don't want to use an air taxi personally. I don't think that's something self-driving
Hey,
air taxi.
what
I
is
don't
it
think.
now? What's
I
happening?
don't. Karibu Sana. We're talking about Rwanda partnering with China, and that is with China Road Bridge Corporation to unveil African's first public flight of self-flying electric air taxi. But I'm just from reading an article of where in Africa we are the we have the largest population. We talk about the youth who are under the age of 30. 70% of the youth are under the age of 30. And which one of the person in the comments says they need to be gotten rid of because it's a useless population. Someone said that in the comment section. But
Of course.
of
Of
course, you said that.
I'm saying, of course, that's what they feel. But isn't it better for you to know the truth than to pretend like they're your friends? It's better to know how they feel. Better to let somebody be truthful. When I tell
That's a,
people,
that
you
was
get
an
mad.
African. That was an African saying that, like, this is a
Uh,
useless
well, that's
population that needs to be
well, that's
gotten
a
rid
well. There you go. That's the stuff. That's the stuff. It's good to know you got also got what they call bootlickers.
of.
I said
Mm,
the problem with Africans, you got African bootlickers. The problem with Africa, you got so many traitors ass niggas. I've said
mm,
that. So many traitors ass Negroes. It's crazy. But they always want to partner with other people because Africa has no confidence in itself and it hasn't put any money in what we call research and development, which is called R&D. So,
mm-hmm,
and these bootlicking leaders, Kagame is a war criminal. He's a psychopath. So he doesn't care as long as he can partner with somebody. He don't believe in his people. He don't believe in anything but outside people. He's the
mm-hmm,
one who created that genocide in Rwanda, and it was the U.S. and the French and the Belgians helped him cover it up. He created the genocide. He murdered hundreds of thousands of people. His ass, because he know he could never get elected as Rwanda's leader. No one's going to elect his ass. They didn't even like him. But now he's been in prison for almost 30 years because he killed killed the Rwandan and the Burundian president, flew him out the
mm-hmm.
sky with American-made missiles. So,
Yeah, so
um,
I'm saying this is all just it's not beneficial. This is not something that we should even be reporting. We should be reporting things like what Burkina Faso is doing. We have the fast pharmaceutical industry. We have the fast, gold processing, coffee processing. We should be having industries and especially if each African country should be competitive actually at this point. This is crazy. They should be competitive on having different industries developing, and this could create now even the exchange of markets, trading, and which again still
I agree.
beneficial to the continent, not to the Europeans. You don't need no Mzungu to work with you so long as you have it right here. Imagine if Burkina Faso has it, Kenya had it, South Africa, Zambia, Malawi, like we have different industries, and
You got
we
you got
should
to have
actually be
got to
fair
have
in
people with got to have people with confidence. And
it's
shout out to Niger kicking out some Chinese people who was treating people like shit. When you go, these Chinese treating Africans like shit. Shout out to the Niger said, "All y'all got to go in 48 hours." This
so
mining company that
I
was
think
treating Niger. Go ahead, Joe.
I think at this point it's more than just confidence. Confidence comes with common sense, number one, like that young lady told you. Some things for you to be able to understand is just number one, common sense.
Did you
Ability to
find her?
I didn't DM her yet to, but yeah,
Okay.
I found her. But as we move on, we have China, talking about still China, not China, but we have Qatar, which has pledged 103 billion investment to 6 African countries, including DRC Congo. And we know why, especially Congo, it's the main focus. We have gold there. They want as much as they can. I mean, people who had nothing, they're now the biggest suppliers of gold and everything. Talk about it. But yeah, the same Qatar has pledged 103 billion US dollars in investment across Africa. The funds will support key sectors such as mining, oil and gas, agriculture, come on, energy, and marketing, one of the largest Gulf investment wave in the continent. They're also talking about this is the landmark commitment, which represents one of the largest waves of Gulf investments on the continent, signaling stronger economic ties and longer term partnership. And this initiative is expected to drive growth, create jobs, indeed, and support sustainable development while reinforcing Africa's position as a key destination for global investors. Who is benefiting? Of course, not Africa.
But
Of course.
Africa don't need any investors. That same old scam investors. Africa don't need any investors.
Do they learn? The puppets we have, Kita, are the ones making these deals.
Um,
The puppets we we're so far gone, and this is what I'm saying. If we don't understand with the democracy again way too early, new colonization is gonna be happening in front of our eyes. Things are we're gonna lose a lot still, as much as we're gonna regain it back. If it really makes sense, we're gonna lose a whole lot. We're gonna lose a whole lot before we get to regain back what we really want. Because I was reading about the partnership, just we're talking about here. Let me see if I can find the article,
okay.
highlight it very quick, which I talked about last week or on Monday. Africa benefits only 5%. No, it was not. That was the coffee. Africa only benefits literally close to nothing. Yeah, it is. Says foreign corporations earn more from Africa resources than all the African governments combined. Do you know how big that is? Such a shame. Like as a continent, we benefit close to nothing more than these corporations what they gain from us. And we're talking about our resources. This is just from our resources, from gold, cobalt, oil to diamonds, and to the other rare earth minerals. And this is when you talk about, like from my topic, Africa is the proof that the heaven exists. Why don't white people want to live a poor place? If the heaven is where we're told the American dream is, why are they living the American dream? Critical thinking should come back right now. And we need to start questioning some things. Why won't white people leave Africa alone? Why are white South African Afrikaners still fighting and trying as much as they can now to divide the country into two? There's something you're not taught. And this is crazy because I'm from being attacked on comments right now, like super super crazy, because of just
Let's,
saying
let's have a
religion
comment.
is bad. The religion is a lie. Religion is what is making you guys have this pattern of same leaders, because they already seen how deep far gone you are to even understand. You're 1 minute, if someone just who can critically think raises an alarm about what is happening, then all of you move with the wind. You're caught up with the wind. Now you want to support the person. Then the next minute you're quick to forget, you go back to religion. Praise Jesus. It's crazy. It's super, super insane. So let me share the videos currently going on in Kenya, because I've been seeing this event. It's an event. Shout out to Ella. I saw Ella on this event. She was praising Jesus there and worshiping. And it's been going on for like, I think, 4 days. I'm not sure who this pastor, where he comes from, but he seems to be. He's a famous known pastor or bishop. And he came to Kenya, and people have been going crazy about the crusade. So let me share the video. First three videos of what is happening. Oh shit. Let me share my screen. Okay, shit.
Yeah, and you know about the Africans' minds are captured with this religious nonsense, so they free their minds to religion. It's gonna be hard. This is what this is why Africa's underdeveloped. This is why Africa's underdeveloped. This is
Like,
why.
this is so confusing, like, even the white people watching this, trust me, they're like, nah, these people are way far from waking up. Like, look at this. Just
Of
look at
course,
this. Look
of
at what
course.
we're seeing. I mean, we had the same people fighting for the country last year without tribalism. Now again, you're all united, indoctrinated and brainwashed, going to support things that are actually now stealing funds in your country. Because let's not forget, Ruto set billions of funds aside. Like, I was reading where they're spending 2 million. They spend 2 million a day to print papers. 2 million a day. And part of the funds literally is 1 billion, which is supposed to renovate the state house, including the church. I mean, critical thinking. So I put my comment here on this video. This was early in the morning, around 8, and I said, when told the truth about religion, munajam, which means you guys get angry. And I say, this is why Ruto is going to be given another term, because he sees this and this is just a joke. Okay, man, this is the reply from people, the response from people. Others are calling me a devil, and someone else asked me, where is Ruto coming from in this conversation? Someone else asked me, so if people go to worship God, where is the two term and Ruto coming from? And someone says, talk about everything else but not politics right now. And then I told them politics runs everything, and that's why you can't even understand how this is politically connected. Okay, someone else says, it's been literally many, many comments, and it's all just me being told I'm not a Christian, I need prayers, I need to seek Jesus, I need to be prayed for. And I told them, you need to pray for me, because this is mind blowing to me that the other day we were focusing on the country, because these are the same things
Look at
literally
that.
keeping us
Look at
together.
that. Look at these
And
people hopping and that. This is mass mind control. Look at this. This is why Africa stays undeveloped. This is why you colonized. This is why you're disrespected all over the world. This shit here. Look at this shit. So yeah, Joe, you made a comment. You know that their minds are gone. So
mhm.
you don't get upset about it. It is what it is. I mean,
I'm not upset. I didn't say I'm upset anywhere.
uh,
Hell no. I'm loving it actually. I love the back and forth, because they can't stand me. Okay.
yeah,
And like, I'm
that's how you
for
make exactly like make them think. Say, okay, so why is your God white? Put that in there. Why is your
yeah,
God white?
I did ask that. So actually, let me read the comments from my phone. I just asked that now, and someone wrote a whole Bible for me on the comment. Let me see. Just a minute. People are still like sending. Even someone told me I have periods and I need to take my cramping up elsewhere because I'm cramping. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not cramping. This is crazy. Someone else asked me, don't you pray? I told them, no, I don't. And I get everything still what I want. And they were
Yeah,
like,
because that's how deep the indoctrination goes.
and
This
then she
this that
told me,
told you
she
what?
They told me, okay, maybe you can try someday to pray and see what you see. God doesn't fail. And I told them, I'm
Well, yeah, if it doesn't fail, why y'all living in poverty? That's what I told you. Doesn't fail. Why are you living in poverty?
you know, this is the comment
Man,
someone um asked about Jesus. Do you know if Jesus why do you worship a white Jesus? Let me see if I can find it. It's so many responses.
because white people are gods, and that's why you're a maid. That's why you're a servant. That's why you're enslaved. This is what you call this is called low vibrational consciousness. This is when you know your consciousness is low. This is low vibrational. So that's why they're stupid. This is not just Kenya, it's all over Africa.
I can't find it. I don't know. It's so many comments. Literally, I can't find it right now. Like it's so many mm, comments. Someone wrote a whole Bible for me, telling me, and I was trying to tell them, go watch Lynn Google's telling you why they lied to you and indoctrinated you. Let me share that video. Indoctrinated you, you know, with the white image of Jesus. Why we were hanging all these papers of Jesus on the wall, like it all
Yeah,
affected
William.
us. You know, everyone was
Yeah.
affected. I told them it's not like I just had to learn. It's not like I'm saying I'm smart. I grew up smart, but you know, instead of trying to argue back and forth, why don't you go do research on your own? You know, try go learn and understand where my argument is coming from. Because you want to come here with a Bible argument, which is not making sense. I'm not arguing from the Bible fact. I'm arguing from the fact I know, you know. And then there's something I've also understood with these people is they want to use the term believe. I'm not trying to believe. I know. Okay, that's the difference. We've been made to believe, and that's why we're so this much indoctrinated, like because you've been made to believe something that doesn't exist. But the moment you know, it's a difference, you know, facts and lies. So please.
Most of you grew up with one picture of Jesus in your homes, your churches, even in your schools. He was always white, pale skin, narrow nose, light eyes, and long silky hair that looked more like something from a shampoo advert than a man walking the hot and dusty road of Galilee. That picture wasn't just decoration, it became a teacher. By the 1940s, Warner Salman's famous head of Christ was everywhere. More than 500 million copies were printed, and it even hung in the US military chapels during World War II. So soldiers could kneel and see the face of Jesus as they prayed. Now, from Latin America to Africa to Asia, that same blue-eyed Jesus was on calendars and prayer cards, not because it was historically true, but because colonial powers and missionaries made sure that the only Christ people would see would be that Christ. And that is where the lie comes in. The real man from Galilee who spoke Aramaic, who fled with his family to Egypt as a refugee, and you can find that in Matthew 2:13 to 15,
Okay, where you
who
can find it.
preached
And
in
that
Peter's
never
private
happened.
synagogues, did not.
They have to keep, and have to keep reading the Bible like it's real. She keep it like it's real. None of that happened. There's nobody but Matthew who went to G. And why is his name Matthew? How's these Bible names English names when there was no English language at that time? Huh? Common sense. Nobody named Matthew existed, especially back then, because England wasn't a country back then, and English wasn't even a language back then. That was like Mark, Luke, Matthew, and John, when there was no England and there was no English language that existed. At that time, what you call around England was barbarians, controlled by Rome. There was no Luke, Matthew, and John, and all this other nonsense. But is that your Bible? You went to East. That never happened, lady. Stayed up. Go ahead. That shit is historical. It's crazy as hell. I think I lost you. I think Joby's gone. Ooh. Yeah, I think we lost Joby. But the internet went out. Ideal that the Nazi. She's back. She's back. She's back. You back, Joby? You're back? Back yet? Back. No. No, we can't hear you. No. But the Joby comes back. Like I said, the ideal, this is mass mind control. Let's remember, like I said, this is mass mind control. And it's sad that Africans are the only ones through colonization.
Can you hear me?
Oh, that okay. He said that the Africans in mass, almost they got colonized, that completely just got rid of all their traditions, right? All their spirituality. Even though the Chinese got colonized, Vietnamese, Indians, all those people got colonized, but they didn't give up who they were. The African in mass, all over the continent, gave up everything about themselves to go worship the most wickedest bastards on the planet. That's how you know you were dealing with the same conscious level, the same people. You're still in this mass mind control phase. Indians got conquered. Indians didn't give up their Hindu, their religion to become Christians. They kept this shit. Chinese got conquered. They didn't give up none of their shit. We're not worshiping you people. The African in mass, all of them. Yeah, okay, we worship you. That's what you see what Joe was showing on the screen. Mass mind control. Where Joe, you back?
Yeah. Let me continue with this video.
Like that painting. Scientists who have studied first century Jewish skulls from Galilee built a reconstruction in 2001 that showed a man with dark olive brown skin, coarse skull hair, and a broad face. A look far closer to modern Palestinians or
Hey,
Ethiopians
look at this.
than to
See,
modern
this is all.
Egyptians or
See, that's what I'm talking about. Then Googie don't know that she's dangerous too. But no modern. Those are all African people. Not what this look like. This whatever this thing is. I don't know what the hell this is. But the Palestinians. Those Palestinians don't come until that era, to the 7th century A.D. Those are all African people. That's why you still got the town there called Aviv. Aviv means slave. But the original African Palestinians live. They never show. Not this goofy not this goofy picture right here she's got there. This is all fake and phony too. That's what I'm telling her. She don't never know nothing either. That's why it's dangerous not to know shit. Because what this other white people said, who cares what the white people said? People always going with white people, the lies that told you. The white man found the skull and he said it's this. Well, it ain't that. Jesus Christ. What's wrong with the African mind?
Anyway, as we continue, family, from the rest of the conversation of the
Right.
day, is about what is happening in the northern parts of Kenya. This is in Mandera. Remember, we had last week or on Monday talked about where the impeached deputy president did actually give information that Ruto has been working with the RSF. I think that is the RSF, and also the some militants from Somali. And apparently these people are in Kenya. Specifications are not given, but this is
The ones
about
in
military
we
forces.
know he's been working. We know he's working with the ones in Sudan, helping
Mhm.
the UAE,
Yeah.
United Arab Emirates, the Dubai morons.
Yeah,
So,
the
so,
boat
so, yeah, so, like I sent you a video, Joby, on your TikTok
TikTok.
account. You seen it? With your
No,
goofy, with that goofy Ricky G. Puppet. I'm like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is my man. You talking about a boot licking, handkerchief head, puppet ass Negro. I can't stand these Negroes. Always got a white penis in their mouth. Stand your ass. You have to. We just bring back. I want to be president. I'll be your number one puppet. I'm like Trump. Trump got prosecuted for helping the American people. What are you talking about? Trump ain't helped no American. So you know he's a bootlicker.
I
I just
don't
want to
see.
suck a white man's ass. I sent it to your
Oh,
TikTok account.
I see it. I see it. But yeah, let me share what is happening because people are being killed in Mandera currently as we talk. People are losing their lives because of these soldiers. And of course, people actually are connecting the dots. They're, leave alone the people now caught up with this religion and whining, yelling on the streets, Jesus and all that. They're those who are questioning what is happening in the government because
And when I ask
something
you,
people don't
why do you got
understand.
foreign troops in Kenya? How's that
Exactly.
allowed?
Exactly, because we have the Kenya Defense Forces General has not talked about it, which people are questioning why hasn't he addressed this? Because this is a matter of security in the country. He should be the
Of
first
course.
person to alert this because what are they doing here? Why are they killing civilians in the northern parts of Kenya, specifically in Mandera? So let me share what is currently happening. And their defense mechanism is just super weak. They're saying that, we're working with Kenyans so good. There's no working with Kenyans. They're killing the Kenyans in Mandera currently as we talk.
How can we work with Kenya? What are you doing in the country?
Who is really protecting Jubaland forces in Kenya? That's the question rattling Kenyans since
Exactly.
Mandela's governor raised the alarm. The silence from Nairobi has only fueled suspicion. Every time an official dares to speak, their hedging makes it look like a powerful hand is shielding the Somali militia's presence in the country.
Exactly. Why are they in Kenya? How do you have another country's militias in your country? Well, that's an act of war, morons. So you're behind it. These are acts of war. They wouldn't be there. Like imagine you had the Mexican military across the border of America. They'd be killed. This is an act of war. You insane? Because that means you're in cahoots with it. Throw the military crossing to another country's border. But I know who's behind this.
Take Nelson Koech, the National Assembly Defense Committee chairman. Pressed in
European.
the matter, he dodged the question. No demand for their removal, no clear endorsement of their stay. Instead, he shrugged it off, saying it would be irresponsible to issue a statement.
If we were to make
What?
a visit to Madeira, it will
It'd be
be useless
irresponsible
and
to
premature.
talk about you got foreign troops on your land? What?
Yep.
So listen, the Europeans control kid. This moron. The Europeans are doing this. This is Europe. This is some European American shit going on. These people are disgusting bootnicks. And then I dare you say I can't make a statement about foreign troops in my country murdering my people. Kenyans, you better stop running around screaming about Jesus to get your fucking minds right. crazy.
Sure, for me as a chairman and responsible for me to issue any statement in regards to what is happening. All I can say at this point is that it is a concern.
And if you know that, that's why you always learn how to read body language. When I was in intelligence, he's lying. Up and to the left or up to the right, you know he's lying. He's lying. Easy to read body language. They know you guys haven't learned this. In any intelligence, you learn how someone's lying to you. He's lying. Everything he says is a goddamn lie. Because you have certain mannerisms you do when you lie. So trained as an intelligence officer, I would look at you to engage whether you were telling me the truth or not. There's certain mannerisms that are universal to all human beings that you can see you lie. Unless you're trained, and somebody's looking at you, know you're lying, you would be trained not to lie. I mean not to look like you're lying. He's not trained, so I know he's lying. His mannerisms are all the manners of a goddamn filthy liar. He's lying. Go ahead, Joe.
To the rest of the country on issues that have been raised, extremely weighty issues. And I do not want this committee to politicize extremely important, delicate security issues of what could be happening in Mandera. We will await to hear from the Ministry of Defense, as has been requested by this
team. Do me a favor, Joby. Pause him. Go to Google. So everybody know Google don't say. Everybody say Google shit now, yeah. If Google knows you guys are waking up, Google don't give no information. But I don't think they're gonna lie about this or try to take it somewhere else. Do this to Google. Say body languages. They go to Google. Say body language of liars. Eyes go up and to the left or up and to the right. See what Google said. Say body language of liars when eyes go up, either up to the left or up to the right.
They're saying signs of that someone might be lying include changes in behavior such as unusual eye contact, fidgeting, vegetating, I don't know.
Fidgeting.
Yeah.
Fidgeting.
Thank you for pronouncing that. Sweating, a high-pitched voice, or a stiff posture. However, there is no single definition sign of lying, and these cues should be considered in cluster or pattern and as deviations from the person's normal behavior. That's what they're saying.
Thank you, Google, for not telling us shit again. This ain't that thing. There's a certain thing, guys. Google would tell you back in the day. Now they wiping everything clean. There's certain mannerisms. Your eyes will look up and to the left, or up and to the right when you're lying. This is a known universal thing about liars. That ain't he's some obscure nonsense Joe we just read. They know the damn body language. Go ahead, Joe Bishop.
Today, and also the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and on its independent investigation by the members of this committee to ascertain the truth of what could be happening in Mandera. Until then, we will be restrained to make any statements.
While the government dances around the issue, the Jubaland forces themselves have broken to silence. A video clip now making rounds shows members of the militia admitting openly, yes, they are in Kenya. Yes, they are working with Kenya at the borders. And yes, their mission is to defend Kenya's interest, particularly against terrorist threats.
What's terrorist threats? That's the bullshit they always use every time.
Exactly. This all. Listen, this is the Europeans behind this. This is them. This is going on.
Terrorist threats. I love that. Which terrorists?
Yeah, because Boko Haram comes from them morons. Controlled by the Europeans. That's where your Boko Haram come in, your Al Shabaab comes from. Right? That's the Al Shabaab right there. You know, they somehow get all the way down to Nairobi and get the bomb balls and hospitals and shit. The Al Shabaabs. That's these morons. Under a different name. That's these idiots here. That's these morons. He's your Al Shabbat under a different name.
meeshan hadda taagana waa xadkii Kenya iyo dowladda state Jubaland weeyaan Soomaaliya. Tunasimama kati ya boda ya Kenya na Somalia. Waddanku waa nabadgelyo, ereydana jooga nabadgelyo weeyaan. Hapo ni amani, tunafanya amani pamoja. Wax dhibaato kama jirto. Hakuna shida yoyote. Xagga isku xidhnaanshaha waa shaqaynta ciidamada deriska katika wenzetu wadogo zetu.
No unity, they're killing people.
Tunafanya kazi pamoja. Ciidanka daraawiishta Jubaland, state Jubaland, ciidanka nabadsuguda dalka Kenya waa shaqayn iyo xidh fiican naga dhaxeeya. Askari wa Jubaland military na kati ya Kenya wanafanya kazi pamoja. Wada shaqayn fiican baa naga dhaxaysa. Kazi ni tunafanya mzuri sana, hakuna shida yoyote. Informationida cadowna xogweersi baa naga dhaxaya. Pia information tunakatikana, tuko na enemy moja. Dad dawladda si fiican soo shaqaynayna isku xidhan baan nahay.
Just a minute.
Tuko unity. Tunafanya kazi pamoja. Informationida xogaha cadowga markaan helan.
Let me find the video of the people from Mandera themselves talking, because these people are just here lying.
All the Somalis, they say they're not black. They darker than me and Joe, they say they're not black. Somalis, not black.
Situation in Mandera is currently out of hand. It is where out of hand. Remember that Jubaland forces have been on Kenyan soil for over 1 month and nothing was said to address it. Alarms were raised left, right, and center. Kona zote, different leaders raised alarms on this issue, but nothing was done. The commander-in-chief of the KDF said nothing to this point, and now the situation is out of hand. Mainstream media, we don't know why you're not reporting from ground. I don't know if you guys are waiting for more lives to go. If the lives that have been lost right now are not enough, it is just devastating to know that this is not being given the seriousness it deserves. It is out of hand. Saizi hata hawapo one area ati sijui wako BP1. They are roaming around. Mandera ni yao. We need something to be done. We need something to be done because the citizens of Mandera County are Kenyans and they have rights, and the state has a responsibility to protect the citizens of Mandera County.
But they have not addressed it. They won't even say anything about it. It's crazy. Super crazy. This is another lady.
Salam, guys. Things are boiling in Mandera. Now, before I tell you the Mandera...
Sorry.
Salam, guys. Things are boiling in Mandera. Now, before I tell you the Mandera story and how bad it is, Kenya, we are at a quagmire between Jubaland and Somalia. This shuttle diplomacy that we are playing might get us into trouble. The saddest thing is we cannot keep our noses out of our neighbors' business. Al-Shabaab, does it sound familiar? Now let us move to Mandera. Mandera, things are so bad. Exams are coming up, national exams are coming up. Schools are being occupied by Jubaland forces. Water, no water supply. Mashambas taken, locals being killed. Come on, what is happening in Mandera? Kenya, we are a sovereign state. Just so.
Are we? Are we? That's what we think. Are we? Because who defines sovereignty in this country? These are the things we need to talk about realistically, you know, because what we claim we have, we don't, because it doesn't apply. It doesn't apply. These people don't follow the laws. They don't follow the laws globally. They don't follow anything called democracy, sovereignty. These are just terms that have been put there to claim that they really care about humanity, but they don't care. Zero care about humanity. And it's just not just about Kenya. Globally. This is crazy. They're taking lands of people now. They're killing people. If you don't give up your land, they're killing you. And Ruto knows what is happening because the Kenya Defense Forces has not spoken. It has not spoken. It's giving Trump, you know, we can invade Chicago because, yes, we do have the right to still invade Chicago. Whether the Illinois governor doesn't give me a call or not, we still have the right to invade Chicago. It's giving that. Because whether he's gonna give a call or not, what is to be done is still gonna be done. So this is crazy. I don't know where we're headed as a country, and we're still talking about, we have 2 more years to go. We have 2026, 2027, and you guys are still talking about another second term. Where are we going to be in the next coming 10 years? It is going to be destroyed under these politicians. Like, our countries are going to be completely third world countries despite the resources we have. And this is why it's so easy for us to be fooled, and we've been long fooled. The Africa is heaven is not here, while the heaven is right here. Heaven, you go to this, they want you to go scream on the street the same way what I've shown. You go yelling Jesus. That is what, forget about Ruto must go. Now it is yell Jesus. I'm not even capping, man. This is what let me show you. They were yelling Jesus, Jesus. I'm like, what the hell, you guys? Are you these are big grown-ass men and women. You left your children to go to this.
Mind control, Joby.
We need
You're
to
not,
bring back our sense.
you're not under mind control. They
And
are.
then you go back after a week, you realize, oh my God, Ruto is making life. So this is not Ruto. Why don't you now ask Jesus? Why isn't he delivering the flower on your, you forgot about Ruto. Ruto did what he was supposed to be doing, which is his job, to ensure your life is tough. And it is up to you for you to realize it is tough and you need to demand accountability. But no, you want to go yelling, Jesus, like these idiots here. This is smart. Yeah, and sadly, I left on this comment. I also left another comment. I said our people are completely lost in religion. White people really conquered this one. Then someone told me, you are uneducated and you're suffering. And I was like, are you really sure I'm suffering? Because like we love assuming things from the internet. Am I really suffering? I'm not suffering. I've suffered, yes, for real. I know what suffering is. I know what it means to lack. Don't joke with that. But I'm not suffering at all. The reason why you're suffering, the reason why you think, I'm suffering is because you in your head, because I've not seeked Jesus, and you're told you need to go seek Jesus so you can get everything you want. You want to go there, cry the whole night, yell, like the 11-year-old told you. If an 11-year-old can reason, why can't the rest of you reason? It's crazy. This is super, super insane. But anyway, as we wind up with today's conversation, another news and update still after seeing Qatar is seeking to invest lots of fund, including DRC Congo. They've not mentioned the other of the 4 African countries. They just mentioned DRC, but I'm gonna look deeper to see which other African countries are involved. And I bet Kenya is one among them, because remember, Kenya has been selling acres of land to the UAE, and I'm talking about acres of land to the UAE in the name of carbon emission. But last but not least, we have DRC Congo, which has an outbreak of Ebola, and this is coming from the health authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo, which have declared a new Ebola outbreak in the Kasai province after 15 people died since the late August. And the health minister, Samuel Roger Kamba, announced the outbreak on Thursday in Kinshasa, confirming 28 suspected cases so far. What really causes Ebola? I always try to wonder, like all this pillage of, because I've never seen, but growing up personally, and because I grew up with a stepdad who was a Ugandan, growing up, we used to hear in Uganda there's a lot of outbreaks of Ebola. Like, is this even real, or is this just another scheme they use the same way with these pandemics to now create a problem, injecting people with the VSCC INEs? Because I've never even seen videos of someone contaminated with Ebola. Is there any proof of if this is real? That is just something I'm trying to say. Because if you talk about things like jiggers, what I was trying to show you guys, people being, eaten on the feet by the sand, sand, what do you sand insects, the sand insects, those sand insects that are eating your feet alive and all that. If it's not that I've seen with people, I've seen that. But talk about Ebola, COVID, and all that. Coughing is COVID and all. It's we have to be just very conscious because and cautioned. They always have an agenda at the end of the day. And then I go back to the first article. We're talking about the largest population, which they are aiming to reduce. That is part of their agenda. And they're also scared because the rate of fertility, not just Kenya, like I was reading recently, the rate of fertility amongst women is there. I can have 10 children if I wanted to. Trust me. Again, of course, I can't in not today's economy, but African women have the capability of bearing so many children. And that, of course, comes with the numbers of the youths. And that is what they're scared of. And if we're going to grow up or have a generation that grows up daring to ask questions like Sama, the young lady, the 11-year-old, that is, of course, scary already because you understand the deepest root of what makes us ignorant, which is religion. We're focused on the wrong thing, pouring our energy on the wrong thing because we're being told at the end of the day we're gonna die and we're gonna be judged and we need to go to heaven. So everyone is focusing on living right. Everyone is focusing on doing everything correct. If you dare do a mistake, you are a sinner. Am I not allowed to be a sinner? One is 100% perfect, So it's super super crazy. But that
No
is
such
the
thing as sin. Some made up shit that you got from your group religion. No such thing as sin, Joe. It's made up. No such
Mhm,
thing.
mhm. But yeah, I see reparations Karibu Sana as usual. Says indeed, Africa is the Garden of Eden. From Accra, the belly bottom of God, the mountains Zion in Kenya and beyond. Safaris are just like when we used to walk amongst the animals with no fear. I know, but that is today. Today you can't even walk literally amongst the animals. They're even scared of you because they've seen the other face of humanity, which comes also with the white people, torturing animals, and Africans didn't have that. That's why actually, if I try look at the God must be crazy personally, because I was trying to understand the God must be crazy, what it meant also having white people just when they see animals, they are running and all that. But Africans, we could live with the ostriches, I could see maybe an elephant and it's gonna mind its own business. But today an elephant sees you, it's gonna step the shit out of you. Like you and especially this I've seen happening with white people, especially here in Kenya when they go to these safari walks. White people, they're not really that friendly, or they're not animal friendly, or the animals are not friendly with them. But shout out to Byron Scott as well. Jiba Jaba Karibu Sana says Joby ain't suffering. She has a piano. Oh my god, I wish that would be a good thing to retire and always playing a piano, like in my house. I don't know about the kids, but
You don't know how to play no piano.
but the piano is not that hard to learn. It's just understanding the keys. Oh, trust me, I think I do know how to play a piano. I used to play with pianos at the church. Okay,
Oh,
so I
okay.
just know
I didn't
if
know.
you need to
Calm
know
down.
this. Okay, I didn't play like officially. It's just how, as a child, after churches,
It does. It does. Doesn't think it's playing officially. Either you know how to play or you don't. It has to be official, Joey.
Okay, I just know you need to understand the keys because it goes with the keys. Like there's the higher keys, the
Well, of
high,
course. Oh, key is
So
right. Like
you need
the
to know how
notes.
to yeah, exactly. You need to know the notes. But shout out to Jib also says replacement rate to grow a population is 2.4 children Africa in replacement rate to grow up population is 2 4 children. Africa is 4 to 5 exactly. I was even reading that just recently, which is 4 to 5. Like we can even go beyond that. I also see says whites are around one. Actually, it's zero right now. It's zero at this point, and American blacks around the same, which is 1 to 4, 1 to 4, 1.4. And he also says animals love white meat, and yeah, love my confidence. That's what's up. But yeah, much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful, beautiful day, and see you guys, of course, later on the Africa Today show. For those who shall be catching this on a replay, leave your comments behind regarding the conversation we've had today about the population of Africa and literally what can contribute us to grow as a population. Number one, we've spoken about empowering ourselves. If we can create industries here, infrastructures, this is going to create job opportunities, which reduces the rate of insecurity that has risen or rised because the youths literally would rather steal to survive, because it's very like a very good analysis or example I've given. You, Jiba, you have a job. Let's say a month you're earning $250, enough to sustain your life, or maybe higher than that, or whatever, just to sustain your life. And you can get things you want by saving up little by little. For me, I'm just looking for food, okay? And I'm not educated. Tribalistically, I'm not allowed in these offices. I don't even, I can't, I don't fit in, okay? So what options am I
What
left
happens
with?
is you're not. What happens is you're not allowed in tribalistically. What happens?
Tribalistically, you're not allowed in other offices. Like the people, oh my God, tribal is that bad. That the
Wait,
offices
wait,
you
wait,
want
wait,
to
wait,
work.
wait. You're not allowed. You're not allowed in the office because you're different tribe.
Yeah, that has
That
become, that was
that,
an effect. I can say
that
maybe
was
today it's
what?
different. That was an effect. I can say maybe today it's different, but it's still there. Like, why do you think we have nepotism active? Like, companies would rather employ
I know, but I'm
family
saying
members.
I know that's discrimination, Joby. You know, I can't go to office because now I'm a certain tribe.
Oh yeah, trust me, kid. There's companies which you'll just find Kikuyus only. There are companies you're gonna find Luos only. Like
Wow,
trust
this is
me. And
crazy.
you can ask anyone in the office. There are people who have no, someone like Shmani maybe can relate to that. You are too dark for this. So the only people who are gonna
Well,
bid for this.
I know about the too dark thing. I know that's Africa white. That's the mind control. I know about that. I know about everywhere in Africa. I know that the colorism is also here in America too. So I know about the colorism, Joby. like like I used to hear about Zimbabwe with Rumbizai talking about I could never get a job. I was too dark. I was like, what?
You
Yes,
see,
you got to be light. They want you to step. Go ahead, what
I
now?
think I think the baby boomers and the Gen X generation, to be specific, and I'm not talking about you guys. I know you know better. Don't say yeah. Okay, the Gen X, those who don't know better, the baby boomers and Gen X, those are the most people mostly affected by tribalism, and some of the
I believe.
millennials. Of course, yeah. Because for me, that's why it's been a shock everywhere I go. Why do you need to keep on asking me about my tribe? And it comes to the point where there's someone who you can go to an office, give your CV, but the moment they read your second name, you're not qualified for that job because they just naturally hate this tribe. They
Right.
politically they
Yeah,
don't agree with this tribe, so it
it's
becomes
tribalistic. It's crazy.
yeah, so it's super insane. But yeah, leave your comments behind, family, on those conversations of today, and have yourselves a beautiful, beautiful day. Remember to download our app on the Google Play Store. Black Fire Network is the name. Get yourself some ashwagandha multivitamin, brain and focus, some moringa pure, some CMOS, anything you'd prefer to get your health correct and living right. If you want to live also longer, because you can see the span of Africans also is being shortened by what we eat, what we consume, and the environments also exposed to. Because when you're living in a very dirty environment like Kibera, you saw the lifespan is actually very, very short. So live correct, live healthy. Much love. See you guys later on the Africa Today show. Peace.
That shit crazy.